Is the Cleveland Browns front office sabotaging their own future, or are we witnessing the most genius quarterback masterclass in league history? You think you know how this ends, but the reality inside Berea is far more chaotic and far more dangerous than anyone is reporting. The tension between the old guard and the new era isn't just a locker room story, it's a full-blown civil war that could define the franchise for the next decade. Before we dive in, smash that subscribe button if you want the fastest NFL updates on the planet. Let's be real about the vibe shift. Denzel Ward is officially the heartbeat of this team. When he speaks, people listen, and his recent comments after the latest trade sent shockwaves through the organization. We all know the history. The Shaq and Kobe dynamic with Myles Garrett was the foundation of this defense. Now that the dust has settled on that trade, you might expect a veteran leader to be disgruntled or looking for the exit. Instead, Ward is stepping up in ways we haven't seen before. He's organizing, he's mentoring the rookies, and he's out there playing charity softball with the newest arrivals. He's not just a lockdown corner, he's a culture anchor. He literally told the press, "It's still Ohio against the world." That's not just talk, that's a rallying cry for a team that has been desperate for a true identity. But here is the million-dollar question: does a star corner have enough pull to keep a locker room from imploding after a seismic roster shift? Drop a name in the comments below. Who do you think is actually holding this team together right now? Wait until you hear how this leadership shift is clashing with the veterans who are already packing their bags. While Ward is building, others are crumbling. We heard from former lineman Wyatt Teller recently, and frankly, it was a massive wake-up call. Teller admitted to getting complacent, basically confessing that his work ethic in Cleveland dipped. He's pointing fingers at the culture, saying he feels rejuvenated now that he's moved on. But hold on, this isn't just about a player losing his edge. It's a systemic failure. Why was a veteran allowed to coast? Why wasn't the coaching staff catching this before it turned into a team-wide epidemic of me-first attitudes? If your offensive line is historically struggling, and your own players are admitting they weren't giving 100%, that falls directly on the man in the headset. If the head coach isn't holding millionaires accountable, the entire culture is a house of cards waiting for a stiff breeze. Now, let's talk about the situation that has everyone losing their minds: the quarterback room. You have the veteran, Deshaun Watson, and the rising rookie talent, Shedeur Sanders. Most people are calling this a battle, but I refuse to use that word. A battle implies there has to be a casualty. This is a competition. This is a masterclass in development. It's the iron sharpens iron philosophy in motion. When you look at how legendary franchises handled these transitions, think Joe Montana and Steve Young, or Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes, the common denominator is competition pushing the ceiling higher. The strategy here is brilliant yet risky. If they are neck and neck, why not start the rookie? Give him the keys, let him learn through fire, and if it goes south, you have the safety net of a veteran. The fans have been screaming for a change, and for the first time in years, the organization might actually be listening to the reality on the field rather than the salary cap on paper. But don't get too comfortable, because one bad week could flip the script entirely. One of our viewers sent in a take that absolutely blew my mind. The theory: our head coach is learning that being a head coach is infinitely harder than being an offensive coordinator. The argument is that he came in with a win-now coordinator mindset, only to realize he is now responsible for the next 5 years of this franchise. If he sticks with the veteran and it fails, he's back to square one next offseason with zero leverage. If he pivots to the rookie, he's betting his reputation on potential. It's a high-stakes game of chess, and every single snap during these mini-camps is being scrutinized by a staff that knows their jobs are on the line. They are treating the rookie like a blank slate, and if he continues to outperform the veteran, the easy choice of playing the established name becomes a fireable offense. We have to address the elephant in the room: the rumors of bringing in toxic personalities. The consensus among the fan base is loud and clear: we are finally purging the bad habits that have plagued this team for decades. We don't need mercenary players who are only here for a paycheck or who bring gambling distractions. Look at what's happening with other teams in the city. Look at the Guardians. That is what a championship culture looks like. It's not about the individuals, it's about the system being bigger than any one star. The Browns are trying to replicate that, and honestly, It's working. You can see it in how the young guys are responding. They aren't looking at the name on the back of the jersey, they're looking at the effort. We are heading into mandatory veteran minicamp. This is where the mask comes off. The excuses about learning the playbook are gone. The "we're just getting started" narrative doesn't fly anymore. Either these guys show up and compete at an elite level, or they're going to be looking for new jobs by August. This is the most critical stretch for this organization in years. If the coach shows any sign of favoritism, if he keeps trotting out a struggling veteran because of a contract instead of the guy making plays, the locker room will lose all respect for him. And once you lose the room, you lose the season. We're keeping our eyes peeled for every report coming out of Berea. Every rep, every throw, every drop
passes a data point in this massive, unfolding drama. Stay tuned, because this season is going to be a wild ride. And we're going to be here to break down every single turn, every win, and every bitter disappointment. The clock is ticking. The players are on the field. The pressure is at an all-time high. Are you ready for what happens next? Smash the like button. Sound off in the comments with your boldest predictions. And make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a single beat of this chaotic, beautiful, and absolutely insane NFL journey. Who's taking the starting job? Drop your prediction right now.